Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my presentation. My name is Elizabeth Green. The topic of my presentation today is the modern literary period. Why is the modern period so important to us? This topic is useful for you because it exhibits the many precious genres that our past, current, and future generations will enjoy and benefit from for a lifetime. We're going to talk about three things. These are first, the modern period, secondly, authors of that period. Finally, we're going to look at a hero in the literary work called The Cannery Row. It's a novel, and it's authored by John Steinbeck, and it was published in the year 1993. Due to the limited time, I have 3 to 5 minutes, and I request that you ask your questions at the end of my presentation. Firstly, I'll summarize the literary period. The modern period was a time of sadness because of the Great Depression, which occurred during that period. There was also a time of victory because of the world wars that took place during that period as well. There were bold writers and a generation of artists and assertive people. Some of the memorable writers of this period includes John Steinbeck, Ernest Hemingway, Langston Hughes, James Joyce, and George Orwell, to name a few. Some of their major literary works include novels such as Grapes of Wrath, A Movable Feast, Cannery Row, and many more. This topic is useful and interesting because it was a time when people became individualized. They began to question religion, monarchies, and other forms of authorities with customized teachings that was being followed. They decided to break away from the norm and explore and other options. Parts of our countries were becoming urbanized, and the arts, music, and literature became revolutionized. That's the end of the first point. Now we'll move on to the second point, which is about the historical period. The historical period consists of several famous time periods, such as the medieval times, English Renaissance, Restoration, Romanticism, the Victorian, modern, and postmodern periods. These periods were all very interesting times with writers who wrote the history of what happened in those days, the lifestyles, the values, and what life was like for people of those times. People were constantly looking for a better way of life. There was much change, less belief in religion and monarchies, and customized ways of teaching. People began to seek independent ways of life with less dependency on religion and authority. Lastly, I'll move to the third point, which is about my hero. Now, my hero is Lee Chung, and he's a character in The Cannery Row. Some of his heroic traits include compassion. He was always willing to help out the people of Cannery Row while serving as their grocer. Lee Chung would make sure no one starved. If a person did not have enough money to purchase items, he would extend credit to anyone in Cannery Row. He even lent out his truck to a group of men who refused to work for more than food and booze. He would bury their dead when they could not afford to. He understood the community he was serving and catered to the downtrodden locals. Due to the limited time I have, 3 to 5 minutes, I request that you ask your questions at the end of my presentation. I have covered 3 main points. In conclusion, in this presentation, my objectives were to evaluate the political, ethical, and social influences during the historical period. I hope you found this presentation useful. Thank you for your time, and you have a good day.